Greetings, one and all. It's been quite a while since we did a Sorrontis map, and for those of you who aren't aware, Sorrontis retired from the Creeper World community some months back, so we only have these 7 from Creeper World 4, and we've done 4 of them already, these 3 and also the price. The parade is interesting. Death Parade is still a parade of sorts. Why would you join a parade that has no destination? Now, we've got some usual types of Sorrontis pain in this one and some that are a little bit unexpected. There's no big wave per se in this map, but it's also not impossible as this implies. If we look at the play log, now all of the scores are here because it's less than the maximum amount that the scores hold. And if we go all the way down, you will find nothing less than an hour and 11 minutes. Now, I think it's definitely possible to do it faster than that, but just throw it out there as an idea of the fact that we're going to be here for a little while with this one. So, what do we have? Well, we have all of our resources and everything on the right. We've got a pretty good amount of land as things go. We've got this big void, and then over here on the left, let's start with their enemies on this side. So we've got skimmers, we've got air sac cauldrons, spores, you know, eggs are coming. But none of these start super fast. You can see 25 minutes, 15 minutes. Now this emitter is pretty special, 1,000 every second. But it's the only emitter over here on this section. And the build-up time, well, that's going to be helpful. But over here then we have also emitters out in the middle of the void. And this is a key part of this. The way the creeper flows is also faster than normal. So what's going to happen is it's just going to fill the void, and getting through the void area without everything sort of just getting run over by creeper, that's going to be some special challenge for us. And there also are no porters on this map. So we can't just, you know, bomb like this area, or come over here and just float over. Now, for the Crimsonator here is going to be fun, and there are some healthy blue-white and redon, though, if we can capture these islands. And there's even some Crimsonator over here that's going to definitely be causing us some issues. We've got plenty of redon. We've got all this resource terrain. So there's not really a lack of resources. You can see 10 urns, although only 3 of them over on this starting island. So naturally, we're going to try to seize as much of this beginning area as we can. Territory, space, land is one of the few advantages that we do have here. And as we deploy, I'm going to want to get into this tree area as fast as possible to boost our early growth, since we have no immediately available urns to do anything like earning a miner to jumpstart. They will come next, the miners will. And then after that, we will do the urn portal, and we will get our first initial group of terps, 3 of them, to grab the urns here, and here, and here. Now I've got a whole bunch of stuff set up to terraform, of course. All these terps here. Terps are going to be huge for the early part of this map. Obviously, this isn't too hard to figure out. We just want to flatten this out to use it for our miners. Resource terrain, we've got a couple of green R's to eventually maximize the use of. I'm going to put airstrips over here, so that's why I have that part set out. And then over here, this whole ridge I want to knock down. Now, I've only seen one other playthrough on this map, and they didn't do it this way. But the reason why I have that set up is I want good line of sight for my snipers to be able to knock down the skimmers and limit their effectiveness. And then we can see this spreading out, see how quick it's moving. It's actually even tearing some holes here, evaporating some. It'll get a little thicker than this, but not a lot, just like how fast it spreads. And it's going to collect on top of these pedestals, etc. But then you can see it's already crimsonating over there. But there's only so much we can do. So right now we're just focusing in our energy. Getting close to positivity here. Okay, so now we're going to turn on our factory. And I also want to turn on our sprayers. We have one over here. We're going to see why a little bit later. But most of them over here to try to combat the Crimson. And then I want our cannons, going to be our frontline defense here, to go on quickly as well. Then mortars will be next, but we've got to get out of this little bit of deficit that we're going to continue to have. There goes mortars. And here comes our first urn, popping that energy right away. Then we're going to turn on our pylons. And since we have lots of energy now, we're going to turn on our terps. And that's going to drain it all. But it's kind of a necessary thing. So while all that happens, I want to move these down. Post for my AC a little bit more aggressively. And in particular, oh, we got more urns. One in mine production, one in fire rate. You can withdraw here. You can drop down this way if you please. Nope, it's not what I want to do. Let's go ahead and turn on all of those. And you can slide this way. And then we're going to want to put up some cannons. A bunch of them. A few more mortars. So I just want to make sure that we've got plenty of firepower here. We're waiting for our energy basically to catch up at this stage, but you can slide up. Take care of a few other matters. We're going to put up a tower here. And refinery. Okay, now we've got energy coming. So let's go ahead and do those snipers. And this is getting finished up pretty quickly here. I'm going to move these for some terraforming we're going to want to do in a bit. Oh, look at that spike. And this is finished. So this is why I have the sprayer over on this side, because we have this small little area that is anti-creeper breeder. It's very powerful at 100, but it only is that one little bit. Nonetheless, we've gotten that in there just as soon as we could, as we had to wait for it to be leveled off. Almost impossible to see that it's there before you do that. And now we're going to want to build some miners, going to do some more terraforming. We've got to move some of these out of the way. There's a few things I've got to get set up here, so I'm just halting the level for a moment while we move everything about. Okay, so all of you are going to come down this way, splitting the terps in two, and of course the lion's share of terraforming is going to happen out there. Now there's a couple other elements that I need to be concerned about, and that is, it seems to be the most problematic at the bottom, but then also a little bit at the top. When the air sacs come, until we get a range boost, they're really going to rain problems down on us. So I need to get at a little bit different angle here to see this. You can go away, put a tower there, but I'm going to terraform up to level 15 so I make sure that it's high enough. And I just want an elevated platform to put some missile launchers on here. So we're going to do that, and we're going to have a pylon somewhere close by. That should be sufficiently out of the way of everything else. Let's do the same thing up here if we can. And I don't see any reason why I can't use this area for it. I'll just slide you down. You can go away for now. Let's see, let's maybe have a connection there. And for now, I'll put a tower in here. I just want to make sure we've got towers to connect everything. This one I'm going to do more of sort of like a square. But it's basically going to be the same eventual idea. And then we will pylon. Well, we'll see. I mean, maybe this will be good enough, and maybe I'll need to move one somewhere else. But that should be close enough, I would think, to get the job done. Okay, so that's set up and in place. Now we need to add some miners. And let's get right in here. Move these across. That should be good. And then where do we need this one to be? I think that's going to be all right. Okay. Then towers in here to, get that little bit of extra energy, obviously, but also I'm going to want to, whoops, I missed one. But I'm going to want to be able to connect up. Now we can connect up to all of these. And it's time for another energy deficit. We're going to have fairly regularly energy deficits happening on this map. And our next one here is just going to really boost our energy power. And then when it's done, we're going to spam some more terps. Up to almost 100 energy now. Okay. Let's roll. Let's get some terps in here. And I have no specific amount exactly that I need. I just want to spam a bunch of them, basically. To just help knock down all this work that needs to happen. Throw a few more over here. I'm going to call that good for now. Then we're going to start putting out some more weapons. Let's put even more cannons over here for when they're probably eventually going to be needed. You know what? I want a cannon over here to help fend that off. And let's put another one here. Let's put a few this way. And let's get a handful ready down here. And now we're just sort of waiting for work to happen. You can see the terps going nuts. And let's see, let's start moving when we can. Maybe some snipers over here. I'm getting you in position. Get all of you over here. And whenever we see these that aren't active, we want to try to move them forward as well. Give them something to do. And it looks like that's happened over here. Okay. But in this case, we also need to clear the way so I have somewhere I can put the airfields. We're battling okay against the Crimson here, but we're just barely holding it off. So, I have a couple reasons for doing this, but I want some AC bombers. The main one is just, this is going to be one of our biggest weapons in winning the level, because if we see, now that's had time to mature, you can see that levels are still quite low over here, and now that's with this whole stash having just erupted. But if we try to use cannons on this, even with fire rate and range increases, pushing it back fast enough to spread out and cross this area, we need to eventually do that with platforms, is really, really rough, if it's even possible. Probably is possible, but highly annoying. I want to use the mechanics of the map against it. So if the regular creeper can spread out really quick and be a pain in this area, anti-creeper can do the same thing in reverse. But then before I do that, it will be very useful in dealing with this Crimsonator much better than we would be able to by other methods. Because even with sprayers, we want to have a bunch of concentrated, and I know this is slightly off there, I'm going to leave it. If, you know, it triggers your OCD, sorry about your life. But it just is one of those things where being able to hit them a bunch from the air is really going to be highly beneficial. So you can just pop over here when you are able. And so once again, we're going to go into energy deficit to get that done. And then there's always going to be these little areas that I've missed. So, like, for example, right there, I want to flatten that out. This one over here, I'm not going to worry about these areas, but perhaps here and here. So I just want to catch those and stomp them out. And then as soon as we're capable of doing it, I really like moving snipers up to the edge, because I don't want to do it when the enemy's on their way. That's a bit late. But I want to pylon up here. We are connected. Good. And then I want to build missiles here. How about the other end? We're ready here too. Can we pylon connect? We can. Okay, all of that is great. Now let's get snipers. And I just lost something. So let's find out where I have a problem. Okay, towers here. I basically just didn't push my cannons forward far enough. Had them in place, just didn't move them. So let's make that happen. Let's get these prepared snipers a little bit more forward as well. Looks like we've got another spot there to hit. And then we definitely want to move these up. It's sort of a... There's a bit of a tension here between how aggressive do you want to be with your cannons and mortars and snipers and all that, versus you still want to have plenty of room for all of these terps to get in there. And I think we've got another spot. And I actually forgot to switch this over, so let's do that. Whole point of getting those up is once they're built, switch to blueite. And then also, where's my sprayers? I had a sprayer. I'll just grab the ones over here. I want to turn off their supply as well. Now we're going to be a bit in trouble over here while that happens. But that's going to be very temporary. Because once we start delivering loads from these bombers, it's going to be all over for the Crimson. And we do have enough firepower over here to hold off for a while, I think. Okay, this in here, I sort of want to keep bouncing back and forth between the various areas. And there goes our AC. Okay. We need to be more aggressive here. We should be farther forward than this. I got everybody in place, and then I just sort of operated defensively here. So, one thing I'm going to do is just throw a tower across here. Oops. And for the time being, put some of these right on top of here. Just so that they're definitely going to be in place for us. Snipers up, please. He said, snipers up, please. Yep, we got stunned here, so we're kind of stuck for the moment. Throw up some more snipers. Some here, maybe a little bit over here. Okay. We got stunned here too, even though we're really pretty well fortified in this area. I just need to get all the way forward to the edge. And then over here, we can see what the anti-creeper is going to do for us. So now, I think we're going to want to... I don't have any refineries up over here. Let's... Just need to get a better angle at viewing this. Let's put some refineries in here. Because we're beginning to secure these areas. And definitely I need to move these forward. Because I just need them to be able to get at this. That's my biggest issue there. Okay, so this section is pretty much in place. I'm happy with that. And you should basically retreat, get out of the way. But this has got to keep moving now. We've still got quite a ways to get around this. Pull some more up there now that we've built it up a bit. Okay. Now we should really start to see this come into the way we're going to want it to be. And over here, we are pushing forward as well. I think we're ready for another task. So this is going to be my next set of airfields. I want 2 more in these 2 locations. So you can move forward. I want you to get out of the way. Okay, we've got another terraforming section here. So much to do to get this map ready. You can move as well. I definitely want to keep this one in place, keep that connection. Then let's just hop along this direction. And all of that should work. And then you can get out of here. Okay. Is there anybody else that needs to move a bunch? You can move up. You're moving already. Let's flatten her out then. And then on this side. We will see how all that works. See if we missed anything. Pushing this back pretty well now. Move out of the way, please. Over here. I am just going to move a bunch of you forward. Hopefully you'll finish clearing that out. Yeah, I like this. Okay. More runways. So these are going to be standard airfields. It's going to be the last 2 that I'm going to build. And we are going to send you off on a wonderful, fun adventure. Should be also the last time, at least for an extended period, that I go into a nice energy deficit here. So if we select all of you, once you are ready, you're going to go hit these areas. I could perhaps use orbitals for these, but I'm going to hit them with bombers and save orbitals for later. So, of course, we don't have any orbitals yet, but we will. Now, I want to make sure I'm set on the refineries here as well. I have the 1 refinery there, and I'm just going to build another one, yeah, right there. And I do have the 2 over here, do I not? Okay, so all of that is in place. Flatten you out. Nope. That's not supposed to be height 2 there. That's supposed to be height 8 there. There we go. Onward, please. Here's another spot that's sort of getting away from us. Doing some good work over there. This again is set. These are building. Get some cannons up. Perhaps a stupid amount of them, but I'd rather have too many than not enough. I'm even going to go higher on the snipers here. I want this area really protected with snipers. This is looking good over here. Let's fill this in. Okay. So let's get some protection out there. Once again, we're going to just add on some snipers. That should do. Now, the energy problem, of course, is going to continue, but we shouldn't need any more AC over here as that stuff is coming online, so we're going to redirect to there. And gradually start building out platforms across the void. Now, we need to get all of you out of here. It is time for this green R, and we have got another problematic area, as we are having... Let's make our acquaintance... Ah, I missed a connection. Okay. One tile off. How aggravating. But you can see our elevated scenario here is working for us. Oh my goodness. I did not think they would be able to reach that far back. Okay. So we lost our runway. Can rebuild that. And we're going to rebuild our miner. And that tells me we don't have enough snipers. You are not getting away with that again. So as I was saying, we're going to clear these out. And then we should be getting, you know, full amounts produced in here. And you will not be needed. So our goal at this point then is we're eventually, you know, we're going to be pounding this and gradually lowering it down. But then we want to push across platform here. Do something like that. And then I need to get some pylons rolling here as well. Connection there. There we go. Now on each of these pylons, as we move out, I want to put this about there. I want to get them to land basically on this. It's a little bit tricky to make it do that. Yep, you're a little bit too far away then. Let's try there. There they go. They toss it right on there. So on each of these platforms, we're probably going to lose a couple of these. But what I want to have happen is I want to have a couple of snipers. May even lose this one. Be okay with that. A couple of snipers, a cannon, and a missile, for the most part. We've got to gradually build up a situation here, because you see we're knocking this down. So once we get that... Okay, there we go. Now it's looking much better. And now, in fact, since there isn't a bunch on it, we'll just retreat this a bit. Now we're going to be in good position to expand. We want to gradually push forward sort of the engagement boundary. Another item I want to do to make sure we have enough liftic is now shut off supply to one of these. We have a bunch of orbitals. I'm going to use those later. So I want my platform here. There we go. And then we're going to have another set eventually out here and make our way across the wild blue yonder, which we are changing now into the wild white yonder. Let's just move your engagement area forward to there. And we just got to wait for these to build now. Of course, we have plenty of read on. Anytime we need it, we'll be using shields later. I don't really have a purpose for them at the time. And of course, any crystals that come up, they're getting harvested basically immediately. You can see the way this AC is spreading. Oh. And now we're hitting some eggs there. Okay, so there's a gradual process to this because you can only expand so quickly. Oh. Missile. So if we're able to shoot down spores further out, they're not going to hit us. If we can shoot down skimmers further out, they're not going to hit us, etc. And so we have our planes taking off. And they're continuing to try to hit this. Of course, that's just going to increase the amount of creeper they're eventually going to send at us because they're going to stay up at the creeper cutoff. But eventually, we will push out beyond that and be in a good position. And now, we've got really a nice area here that we're taking some pretty good control of. Every time they send another salvo of, for example, our wonderful air sac friend here, or skimmers, then it gets interesting. Sometimes they'll send it right when I'm trying to expand with platforms, so we'll get pushed back. But in general, we should be able to attack effectively. And boom, 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 there you go. Snipers knocking them out of the air before they can really do any serious damage. And our AC trying to fight into these areas, which have a lot of creeper. Okay, we're going to want to move out probably a little bit more of a diagonal here for our next set, and then perhaps one... Yeah, we'll do it about there. Okay. So, sniper, sniper. Only one sniper here, though. Because on there, I'm going to want a terp, so we can get that wonderful urn. And then keep the cannons going to defend us against any future unpleasantness. And so on. Did turn you off, did I not? Yeah. Could turn the other one off, but I find with that, I often will end up with a bunch of extra liftic here, so. We have our urn. That's going to go into fire range. Really help us engage the enemy much further so that we don't get hit as much. Okay, so let's move you out more. Perhaps to about there. And once these go up, we will simply, there they go, push in further. Okay, new platforms up, so we're really getting out here some now. Missiles. Let's make it happen. And cannons. There we go. These eggs are popping out here. And yep, there we go. That's going to happen as well. Hopefully we can keep this one defended. Not going to do any more until we get in a little bit of a better position here. See the cannons battling this over here. This is one of the reasons why we have them in place. Doggone it. We're doing so well. Okay. We're going to wait for all of this stuff to pass. We are going to throw up some more defenses here. Yeah, stop throwing a fit. Okay. As I was saying, we're gonna keep pushing out this way. And we're continuing to fight this off over here. Reasonably well. And here comes some more fun with eggs over here, it appears. So we're probably going to lose that one again. Yep. Pound all these orbs. Shoot them down. Ooh. That hurt. But again, we shot all those out of the air. So while this looks bad, I mean, they're swarming us over here. We have a bunch of AC on land. And we're defending most of our platforms. We're just having a bit of a struggle getting out into this direction. Okay, that's now under our control. I think we move out a little bit more right on top of that. Okay, here we go. So, one of you, let's definitely have a nullifier. There, let's get a terp up. And a cannon. Okay, so you're still going to have issues. And as soon as this starts nullifying, we can safely move on. Let's see, let's try to do it now, because again, there's only a few eggs left over there. So we're going to keep this battle rolling. And you can see the difference here. We are gradually lowering this one down. Matter of fact, we're almost down now to the ground level. Excellent. Okay, that's been nullified. So we should be able to handle everything else, and we're going to move that way. That would also be nice to continue platforming around here, but I don't know that we're going to get away with it. This is a very important urn because it's going to give us build speed. So now everything that we're trying to do... Ooh, very nice. Okay. Everything we're trying to do out here is just going to happen faster. And I could move these units from platform to platform, but I never know what setbacks we're going to have. I think that's dangerous, so rather than just deal with any of that risk, I'm just going to keep right on going here. I want to have a mortar up here when I can so that you can just pound this area if need be. So this one is in place. Let's move you a little bit further out. Okay. Very nice. And we have another one. Getting a little bit closer here. Let's hope that we can hold it. We're going to have one missile. A couple cannons. And I don't know if this is too far away. Let's see from the top view. It shouldn't be. That should work. Okay, so are we... Yep. Wasn't sure how we're doing there, but we've knocked everything down. Now I do want... I'm going to get rid of one of these and get a mortar, I think is what I want instead. Just to make sure we're going to take control of one of these. I don't think I need to move any closer. Okay, there's a spot for a nullifier. Oh, I do need to get closer. Alright. I was wrong. Let's build another one. And I don't think we can push any further over here without switching what we're doing from the AC side. So let's just switch some of the bombers, though. And leave a few of them going over there. So maybe we come out around here. Now the other part to this is, since we have control of this area, let's go ahead and work on that. That's going to be a connection. That will work well. So, if we can get up before getting hammered, a bunch of snipers, and a few missiles, then we can move on. You're in place. Okay, let's put you there just because. A couple sprayers. A cannon. We have this nullified. And now everybody can move on with their life. And we have that urn as well. Move speed. Now, any other urns that come our way, I am going to put in the refineries. Just to boost all of that. 12 orbitals. Very nice. Now, I also want to move all of you now. You've had your fun. Now you're going to move on there. Let's be advancing this way. I'm happy with all this. I'm happy with this. I would actually like... You know what I should do is I should put a micro rift up here. And then I should pylon down on this side. So we're ready to advance that way. I'm not getting much over there. Am I having a problem? No, they're en route. Okay. we are going to continue on our merry way. Now that we're moving, I mean, we're really being quite effective at pushing them back. Let's slide over there. There's a whole bunch of eggs here, so I'm definitely going to want to be cautious of that. Definitely get cannons in place. There they go. See how much of this we can hold off. And of course, yes, the 500 limit on eggs. It really wouldn't be a Sorrontis map without that, would it? So can we hold off this much tide? Well, I think they're done exploding. But I don't think... Nope, it's not going to matter. I probably should have had another weapon on here, like a couple cannons or a cannon and a mortar or something. Because we just lost the two of those. I think we're going to save this one, but I'm not even sure that one survives. Boy, this one's not either. Okay, that was too much of an explosion. Yeah, okay. Clearly, I bit off more than I could chew there. Now, this is eventually going to come back our way because we're going to continue to drop AC over here and reestablish. Even this one is having trouble. Yep. So the AC coming back towards us. Definitely a miscalculation there. So, it's time to rebuild. I never built up this area. Apparently. Gives me something to do while I wait to get those back in operation. I probably could have used a damp or something over there, although that would have hurt me too, because I'm relying on the AC flow. In any case, there is no more eggs over here. So that was not something the creeper can repeat in this location. Which means we should be looking pretty good. And I think what I want to do here is just slide you up there and grab that urn. Build another one here. If you could get me my nullifier, that would be great. Another urn coming our way. Okay, I really need to be moving now. As a matter of fact, I think I'll just come down off of this. Although, actually, no, I shouldn't even be doing that. I should be moving all of you. Yeah, I should be moving all of you this way. Just move this way directly. Let's also get one set over here to board this one, because I think we're about to be in place there. This is actually not up yet, but it will be soon. Okay, we're going to have more situations here. Now the question is... Yeah. See, you can hit the eggs from here. So I think I just have you do that. Maybe another sniper? Can you... You can hit from there too. Just grab whatever we're going to be able to do around there. Go and pop those eggs. That'll work. Once it holds. Well, it was going to work. Is it going to dry up before... Nope, it's not. Okay. It was close to working. Which is another way of saying it didn't work. Nonetheless, we're getting up here eventually. Now let's throw up missiles. And you up there. Okay. Micro rift as well. Where is my micro rift? There it is. I'm going to slide you in place. And we're going to platform over here. Now, all of you, I think your work is pretty much done. Except I want you to hang out until we... We gotta redo this platform again. We're getting it eventually. This one is now in position. And I think you... are going to secure that. Just kind of do a little bit on each side. Well, maybe not. Perhaps there was a hidden egg there? Let's rebuild here. It's not really a great place for a platform, but I would think hidden behind this landmass is going to work to some extent. We just need everybody built up here. Okay, yeah, we've cleared out enough of this now. It's not coming out this way. You now get to move on to your next task, which is to begin the assault on this. Have fun. Nullifier. Terp. We know the drill by now. Come on. You actually can slide up further. There we go. That should be secured. You will grab this when it's needed. And now it's time to advance. And while we're doing that, let's begin this job. You see the depth here? 300 and change. So we're going to quite literally rain on their parade. Hey, I'm not the one who called this map the parade, so if you don't like that pun, oh well. All of this should be handled. It really should. Let's move forward. I want to move this direction. Now, another thing I'm going to do is I think we've done enough with the AC. We're going to switch back to energy. And I'm going to take one of these runways and switch it to bombers. Regular bombers, that is. Okay. There we go. That's going to move us up to 60 instead of 40. Now, how are we doing on this? It's much lower than it was. Let's make it lower. Send down a few more of those. And I really want to just line up a bunch of these here. Oh, look at that. It's beautiful how all of the creeper disappears. Now, on the ones back here, I'm just going to throw a couple snipers and a missile. And now it's up here on this group, I want to start building our attack force. And let's keep all of you just sort of hitting this area. There we go. All of these coming in place. Then, and I probably should have built these earlier, but I don't think I'm going to need much more in the way of platforms. So, all rockets, supply on, give me as many orbitals as you can. And I'm going to throw up some shields. Look, we got 11 coming in. We have a whole bunch of shields we can build. So I'm just going to make this back row shields. And then we're going to mortar up this front row. Which I could make a little closer if I needed to, but why? And then, just because I could build them elsewhere, but whatever, I'm going to throw up cannons. Let's also do another micro rift over here. And it's time to cross over and attack. Yeah, you be quiet. You're not going to keep us out. Can always bring more. That's what we're bringing for now. Shields, you come as well. Let's see what we have. Yep. Those aren't going to be a lot of fun. But they're not going to last either. Now we're getting more supply. Okay. Now we just need more, like, a stupid amount of firepower. Really. Let's bring you over. Maybe you can come back here, because that doesn't look like a very good spot. That's probably not either. Okay, now with our planes, let's focus them. Focus them nearby. And start nullifying. Because the more of these go down, the better off we're going to be. Well, that wasn't a lot of fun, was it? These are all going to be dead eventually. There we go, that's nullified, or was nullified. Because I think we're about to lose this one. Maybe not. We kept it up. We need to get out of this stunned state, is what we need to do. Okay. I am going to bring over a single sniper. I think we can handle that. We're about to find out if we can't. Might be able to nullify this. That one's already nullified. I need to get a spot about there. And I think we're going to want to gradually push. I mean, we have a stupid amount of shields in here. But let's start. Well, as much as we're spending on the bombers, I don't know, but let's start throwing up a few mortars anyway. Okay, now let's get that nullifier back. And I'm going to gradually march down the other direction. Okay. So let's move all of you a little bit further back. And we're just going to gradually try to sweep this. Of course, getting to that emitter is the big deal. Let's move some of these up. Lost the tower. And some other fun. I think we lost the emitter somewhere in there. Or not emitter, but nullifier. So let's spread these out. I think I want maybe to get a couple more cannons. Don't want to overdo it in here. There's only so much room. And let's move forward our sniper. So this is just one of those, you gotta slog your way through it sections. Okay, let's back up our firing a little bit more. Only 411 eggs to go. Okay, we're not too far away from being able to nullify that emitter, and that's really gonna, other than getting the eggs, I mean, that's gonna make a big difference. Let's see about that possibility. I think we're there. Make sure I have lots of connections. Forgot about my orbitals. Let's be using them. I think we lost our nullifier, perhaps? There's so much going on, it's actually hard to see whether we did or not. But it looks like we did. And, okay, you need to move forward. Powering up our nullifier. There we go. Move some more mortars up. And I think I'm ready for a second sniper. I think here we just sit and pound them. You know what? You can probably do your thing over here as well. 320 eggs. Let's move you up again. I'm actually surprised we're not eliminating the eggs a little bit faster. Let's see about another nullifier. It's almost like, what do I even use the orbitals for at this point? I'm not even sure. Like, I could definitely use them. I could just throw conversion out there just to do it. Like, I could convert this area and spawn it back and forth between eggs. I suppose that's as good as anything. See? And then you just pop a bunch of eggs at once. And then convert again. And then do it again. And then again. And yeah, okay. That's probably about the best thing I can think of to do with it. Let's see, let's move you further on. And we have 4 more things left to nullify. One is this. And then we got the 3 over there. And air sack's still coming. They don't believe in stopping. We're down to 102. But we've stopped popping eggs. Let's get over here and do some more of that. Under 100. And just over an hour on the map as well. Yeah, we're definitely pushing them back pretty good now. Whoops, we're gonna need another tower there. Left one of our shields behind. Nullify, if you please. Let's just get 2 of them there. Well, maybe not. No. We're hitting some more eggs, so we'll just chill. Do a conversion there because we can. There we are. Let's get some more of these forward. Sorrontis, we're about to defeat you again, but it was definitely an adventure. So we have 11 down. I have a feeling I missed something. Or did we not? Oh, this one's still powering up. So we're plowing through the last group of eggs. Let's have you just sit on top of that. And nullify. That should about do it, right? So this is actually going to be the fastest time that's been achieved on this map. Of course, I made, as the viewer will be aware, a number of mistakes. It could be done much faster. I'm going to guess this could be done, 30 to 40 minutes probably by somebody who's really good. But I'm going to take it. Because I think this is the kind of map that you just sort of survive. And I think the whole, platform grid thing is an interesting way to approach it. And it's definitely a map that makes you think a little bit non-traditionally. And of course, the ever-ending egg punishment, which no true Sorrontis map would ever be without. But that was the parade. Hope you enjoyed it. And as always, we'll be back with more Creeper World 4. Thanks for watching.